here we are at the British Shooting Show 2024 NEC in Birmingham. Stick with me, we're going to have a look and see what's new and what's exciting at the show. And some of it will have been reviewed already, some of it will be getting reviewed very soon, but hopefully I'm going to be picking out the products that all look new and exciting and interesting. And if you're not even here, you'll be able to get a bit of an idea of what's going on. But please, if you have got the chance, come along. It's a great show, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's here. First thing in the door, we've got the new Sauer 505, and this is the XTC carbon fibre stock version. Now you'll have seen I reviewed most of the new Sauer 505 range, both on the range shooting targets and in the hunting field in Germany last year. But we're going to be doing another review soon of the XTC carbon stock version. So this is a thermal scope from Night Pearl. It's the Harpier, and you know me, I do like ergonomics and I like usability. What's amazing about this is you've got a battery going through that's pretty coming standard now on a lot of scopes, but you've got focusing of the image at the front here, pretty simple to use, like sort of an adjustable objective. But what's most cool about this is it has the looks of a conventional rifle scope and the same ergonomics, because your zoom function, although still digital, is here. You know, it's a control collar on the front. The controls themselves are simple to use, and you've got eye relief with it, and it comes up just like a regular rifle scope. But I've had a quick go with it just looking around inside at the show, and I am really impressed with just how easy it is to use and how quick the reaction is. And obviously, yes, it's digital zoom on the collar here, but it's almost instantaneous from you controlling that. And the image quality, okay, I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be like in the field in use, going out foxing or whatever like that, but first impressions are a big deal for me, and I've used and seen a lot of equipment over the years, so I know I can pretty much make quite a good guesstimate, or an estimate even, the instant I see something, and it either ticks the boxes or it doesn't. It either looks the same as everything I've seen before, or it looks like it's got a bit of innovation. And going back to the ergonomics, you know I like ergonomics. You've also got through battery here, 18650 battery, so you can quick changeovers in the field and you're not having to use charging cables or anything like that as a backup. There are two versions of this currently. This is the 640 resolution, and there's also a slightly more economical 384 resolution. But I've been told that in R&D, we're going to go even higher than this one for resolution, and that is going to be superb, because this one already looks very tasty. I've just seen this, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. It's called RK-UK, and it's a seat, and basically you've got sort of finger holes in the top and the bottom, and you just go like that with it, and there you go. And I'm no lightweight, but that's rated up to 24 stone apparently, and these things are 20 quid a piece. And just put your fingers in the top, fingers in the bottom, sort of pull it apart, twist it, and it goes back down. But you can do that at any height you want, so kids and things like that, if they want it a little bit lower down, they can do. And what a superb thing that is. So I can say lock it like that. And I love innovation. I love a bit of a, I wouldn't say a gimmick, but I still think that's a gimmick. I think that's a genuinely valuable, usable product, and it's available in all sorts of different colours as well, so I like that a lot. I'm having one of these. The mighty HW100 special 125th anniversary colour scheme here. What a smacking belter that is. Right, these are the new Ruger American Ranch rifles. This is a stainless fluted barrel. It's also Cerakoted as well. And we've got polymer stock. It's got length of pull adjustment on it, so you can have a different space system, cheek piece system. Similar to the previous Ruger American, we've reviewed that before, but the whole layout of it is very sort of, you know, tactile. It's got a really good grippy finish on it. It's got little inlaid panels here, you know, give you a little bit more tactile perception of it. The extenders mean you can change length of pull as you need it, and of course it's all been done. The brake on the front, and there'll be a variety of calibers, but there was also in the sort of more tan shade as well. I'm not sure, I think I like the tan shade more than the grey one, but that's me. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder as always, isn't it? So we'll be getting these on review fairly soon. These have literally come into the show They haven't even been proofed yet, that's how new they are. But the prices are very attractive, and to be fair, Ruger always seem to make a pretty good barrel, and as a sporting rifle, they're always pretty reliable. And the last thing we want to look at is we've got a stiff fore end, it's fully free floated, and I've got to squeeze that really hard to make that do any contact. So I think that's going to shoot well. And we've got sling studs obviously underneath. Yeah, there'll be a full review on that, so keep with it. We've got loads of new stuff from Bergara. We've got carbon chassis. We've got MDT aluminium chassis and the target-oriented specifications. Premier Elite. It's a 26-inch barrel. That's a PRS rifle down to the core. Crest carbon there. That's a new one. So you've got carbon barrel, carbon stock. That's all very nice looking, and hopefully we'll get some of these in for review, but they'll have to reply to their emails a little bit more quickly. I quite like the look of that one actually. I'm more of a sporting rifle these days, but the MDT carbon chassis is ultra lightweight. I saw one of those last year, and when it's off the rifle, it's phenomenally light. This is a really nice semi-custom Bergara from Precision Rifle Industries. It's been Cerakoted. This one's a 22LR, so it's nice little Bergara short action for the rimfire only, but of course it's Remington 700 footprint. We've got a TriggerTech trigger on the underside, so you get beautiful trigger pulls from those. That one's ultra crisp. Conventional sort of Remington 700 style setup, but of course we've got Manners stocks, and you can see the sort of very Gucci paint job on this, Cerakoting as I said, and these are available, and I think it's just a really nice rifle, and perhaps we'll do a review on one of these when we get one in to use. But I do love rimfires. It's probably my favourite cartridge to shoot because it's just so approachable for everybody, and if you do want something a little bit more fancy, doesn't that look absolutely awesome? As you can see, we've got lovely stippling on here, very custom paint job, and of course it's an ambidextrous stock, and we've got a kind of crossover because this has got the sort of thumb rest that we see in a lot of PRS rifles. And then moving back here, we've got space system for length of pull, and we've also got adjustable cheek piece height as well. But what a cracking little rifle. I really like that stock, it's a really appealing thing. And the float, free float on the barrel, is a very stiff fore end, so that's going to shoot well from bipods or any kind of improvised rests or tripods too. Here we've got the XLR Element 4 aluminium chassis for an Anschutz rifle. And of course we see so many MDT chassis, but it's nice to see somebody else doing something. And the fact we've got an integrated bubble there for level, we've got adjustable length of pull, adjustable cheek piece. These are really nice looking things, and as much as the MDT stuff is great, it's good to see some of the options and some of the colours available, different setups, different patterning, and of course there'll be a range of different inlets for these as well, depending on what rifle you're putting it on. Here we are at Sako, and we've got various versions of the Sako 90. You'll have seen me do some reviews on these already. I've done the Peak, and I have also done the Adventure. And the Adventure is probably going to be the most popular one. What's the price on those? Those are obviously RRPs, they might not be what you pay at your dealer. But maybe I should get one of these next, do the 90 Quest, because that is a lovely carbon fibre, but it's a bit more of a kind of heavier build stock, precision, well, not precision rifle stock, but certainly a prone shooting stock. And you've got a bag rider, you've got a butt hook here, still adjustable cheek piece, length of pull is adjustable there, one of these push button systems, so obviously everything's locked down at the show. So that's another one. I think, oh yeah, I'm going to get one of those and do that one. The mechanics are the same. It's all about the different furniture and how it suits your shooting environment. But I'll have a go with it and I'll report back on it, because you know me, I love the ergonomics. Some of these Steiner thermals have been actually really quite impressive. And I really want to do some more reviewing of them, but it's a case of getting hold of stuff these days. And it's such a fast-paced market. If you don't get it in the first couple of weeks, to be honest, by the time you actually get it out there on YouTube, everybody's already seen it 3 times over from other people who happen to particularly get their hands on it first. But I was actually really impressed with those when I saw them at the Stalking show last year. And Boris is equally impressive, and I would love to get some of those. It's very dim in this corner, but I really need one of these Benelli Lupo rifles. I've not done one yet. They keep promising me one, but we'll get one at some point. There's only so many hours in the day and only so many review rifles ready to go around and spare and share for everybody to shoot and effectively make second hand. But again, that's an RRP, that's not what you'll really pay for it, and they're actually very economical, these rifles. I've heard they shoot very well too, so hopefully we'll get one of those sooner rather than later for a full review on the channel. Similarly, we've got Franchi rifles. This is the Horizon Elite Strata. That looks like it's been Cerakote, a nice bronze colour. Nice camouflage stock on it. And of course, again, this is all part of the Beretta group with the Beretta name backing it all up in terms of its capability, performance and the reputation of the company's name, which is obviously virtually 500 years old within the next year or so, I think. And they have a long-standing history of firearm manufacturing.
But what they've done is, see the colour? Lovely caramelising colour on top. That's what we're basically looking for. Just going to make sure I've got all the wood off. There's nothing worse. It's like biting.
As many of you will have seen over the last 8 years, I've been using Leica Geovid rangefinder binoculars. They've gone through various iterations and upgrades with longer rangefinding capability, but these are the Applied Ballistics Plus version, which is going to go out beyond 3,000 metres in terms of instantaneous real-time calculation once programmed in. So you never know, I might get a set of these to try out. But to be fair, my current Geovids still last me. They've lasted 8 years with no problems whatsoever, no service, no nothing. And I've just got so used to them, they're just part of me when I go hunting. So maybe these will become that same way. Although, to be fair, I don't need the Applied Ballistics, but I've already got it on the Kestrel itself. Yeah, it's great to see it integrated with some serious processing power rather than having to mess around using separate instruments and other apps and things like that. So we'll see if we can get a hold of some of these and give them a go. You may have seen on Gunmark TV, I've already done the review of the High Performance. It's a stunning scope. I did the 6-36 version. This is the 10-60, which is even more target specific. But the next project, which will be on my channel, is the Meta. Now, this is a precision hunting scope, really. It's a 3-18 power, 42mm front end, so it's still compact, long-range daylight shooting scope. And we've got all the locking turrets, things like this, things we're used to with Schmidt & Bender, with extreme accuracy, precision and longevity from the internal mechanics. We've got an 11-stage illumination system, parallax adjustability that goes down to 20 metres, and this thing's got an enormous amount of dialing capability for both windage and elevation out to long distances. And there's a turret marking system as well, which I'll be showing you in the full review in the next few weeks. As many of you will have seen, Arken have taken the market by storm over the last 3 to 6 months with an awful lot of night vision kit, and this is one of their new scopes. This is the thermal equivalent. So we shall see if we get one of these on review at some point, but this gentleman here has certainly snagged his interest because he's at the show to buy a thermal scope for his rifle. So we shall see how he thinks after this one. I'll give him a little interview perhaps, but I'll hopefully get one of these to do a full review on at some point. This is the Hauer Carbon Stalker. Now the Hauer action's been around for quite a long time. You can have it in various different calibers. There's usually a good range that's most suitable to the UK. Separate screws there for the bases for the scope. You've got a 90-degree lift, 2-lug bolt, 2-position safety, or is it? No, it's a 3-position safety on the hatch trigger, I believe it's called. These are pretty good triggers actually, the 2-stage. But the main event here is it's got this new carbon stock on it, and it's got a slightly soft touch finish. It's very tactile, but when you actually look at the patterning on it, this is actually what they call a dab finish. So you do get additional grip from that without having sort of more aggressive stippling. And to be fair, that's had a lot of usage and people holding on to it, so it's not super clean and fresh, and that seems to be adhering quite well to my hands, and I think in the hunting environment it'll be no different. I think this is one of the more likely ones I'll be getting to the review on sooner rather than later, and we'll maybe go for it in a Creedmoor or a 308. maybe something smaller, maybe something bigger. We'll see what's available. But it's got a free floating barrel, and I would expect it to shoot quite well. It's threaded for a moderator or a brake, but I think for the Stalker, the moderator will be the way forward. And that seems to have got a nice, neat thread on there. Certainly not rough or abrasive at all. And the crown is also neat. I'm very happy with that. So it's one of those rifles that I'm going to order. I'll get to do a review on it because I'm confident it's going to work well.
This is about 18 years. We're based in a little tiny town in Cody, Wyoming. A little tiny company as well. So Gunworks, in 18 years, we've focused on custom hunting rifles, and not just a hunting rifle.
There's plenty of the old favourites still around. We've got lots of Tikka T3 variants here. I don't do much reviewing of Tikkas at the moment because there's nothing specifically sort of groundbreakingly different, but we'll have to get hold of some at some point and do some reviews on those. They're always faithful, honest, reliable rifles, Tikkas, and that's probably the reason why they've got to be the market leader in the UK. Some of you may have seen I did a Cadex rifle for Gunmark TV. I did the 223 version here, and it was a stunningly accurate gun, I have to admit. But we're at the show, and of course we've got a very big brother for it. This one is a 375 Shaitak, and there's not much will shoot through the wind better than one of those. It's an extreme long distance rifle, fully adjustable stock, all the bells and whistles. And you might not be able to see it on the video, but obviously there's a massively inclined Picatinny rail on there for super long range performance and dialing capability. The magazine's not in it and the bolt's locked down, but you can on the front see the chunky muzzle brake, which is going to give you plenty of recoil reduction on the beefy cartridge that the Shaitak is. I've never actually shot a 375 Shaitak. I've shot quite a few 408s, but they're all variations on a theme. And they've certainly got the long range legs on them. This is the latest version of the Tier 1 ATAC bipod. I've seen a few modifications to it on the locking system to make sure it can't self-loosen or anything like that when you're canting the rifle. Still as adjustable as before. This one's in flat dark earth Cerakote colour, but obviously you've got the extending legs there, and the legs work in multiple positions, so you can put them tight together like that, or you can put them far apart like that, and then of course put them out in whatever position you want, and that's going to work on most rifles. It's more of a target rifle, or certainly a larger stalking hunting rifle bipod, this one, but they are available in multiple formats of kind of scale sizes and sort of beefiness, especially for the really large heavy PRS rifles where you've got an extremely heavy barrel. But I've used these on quite a lot of air rifles. You'll have seen the videos, and I'm really happy using them. And of course it's got a quick release Picatinny clamp on the top, and if you've got an M-LOK system as well, you can easily put Picatinny rail on things, or you can go straight to Picatinny rail. And rifles are all evolving, and they've got a lot of stuff like that integrated into the design now anyway. So I'll be getting one of these pretty soon, because Tier 1's actually based not far from me in West Yorkshire. So I'm looking forward to getting it, putting it on the rifle and taking it shooting. This is a Winchester XPR Hunter, and it's got a nice camouflage finish to the stock. Winchester we don't see many of in the UK, but every time I've reviewed one, I've had really good performance with it, and these are not expensive rifles at all. The thing about them is that they're all bedded, and okay, it's not a full custom bedding job, but it's a satisfactory amount of bedding around the front recoil lug and the rear of the action, and it really does have a critical benefit to the way a rifle shoots. And it's a factory rifle, it's not an expensive rifle. You've got a stiff forehand, free floating barrel, and you know, these sort of seem like not that expensive guns. Are they no good? Well, actually, they perform way beyond what you think they should. And at the end of the day, with a name like Winchester, okay, it's all Browning, but Winchester is a name that was built on accurate rifles and hunting. And do you know what? This is one of those rifles that still maintains that ethos. And you've got a locking bolt, 3-position, with an opening catch there, and everything on them works really well. In the past, I've reviewed the normal synthetic one here, but this in camo, I quite like the look of it. Maybe I should get one of the laminate ones, but we'll see if we can get hold of one, see if we'll do a review on that. Now, the Winchester Wildcat
was one of those videos that went absolutely mad, went viral and did me 600,000 views in 2.2 rimfire semi-auto format. But there's a new version called the Expert, and that's the bolt action. So it's a little bit more of an accurate precision rifle. Bolt actions are generally always a little bit more consistent than semi-automatics. And there are 3 versions of it on show here. We've got a black version, we've got what appears to be like a darker green version, they're all polymer stocks. And then we've got the camouflage version, which is called the Expert Strata. It's screw cut for a moderator, it's got a free floating barrel. We've got a nice bolt action operating system here, which is always a great thing to shoot on a 2.2 rimfire. Safety catch. We've got an adjustable cheek piece, which might build up or it might be adjustable, we'd have to see. But I'm going to ask to get one of these to do a full review on, because the Wildcat in 2.2 rimfire was a surprisingly awesome rifle actually, at very low cost. And these are not massively expensive, so I'm looking forward to the new bolt action single shot magazine fed version and see how that goes along. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so it's a bit tricky to get the mag out, but that would appear to drop out of there. And we've got a rotary magazine, 10 shot. And one of the real joys of this is the fact that they're actually putting a Picatinny rail on the action, which makes scope mounting so much simpler. And if you're using it for night vision or thermal for hunting, it's so much easier to work with those than the old-fashioned dovetails.
So, tell me all about this new case from Magpul.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So this is Magpul's new Dakar R44 case. It was launched last year at SHOT Show 2023. And this year at SHOT 2024, we released a whole new range of kits as well. Yeah. So basically, what makes our case different from all the other legacy cases from the likes of Pelican, Plano and the like, and that's our grid system.
Yes.
So the grid system, unlike foam, is you don't need to cut it, okay? It's one case for every gun, not one case per gun, okay? So what you can see is we've got our R44 case, which comes with our standard grid inserts, and this allows us to build the gun, build the case around the gun that we own or that we're going to use on any one day. The inserts are water resistant, oil resistant, chemical resistant, they're wiped down, they don't harbour bacteria, that sort of thing, okay?
Or mildew or anything like that.
That's correct. So the case it's not waterproof, it's water resistant. So in this instance, what does that mean? If you stick it in the back of a trailer and it's bombing down the M6 and it's pouring down with rain, you're not going to swamp your gun. Likewise, you drop it in a lake for half an hour, you're not going to swamp your gun. But it's breathable, which means your gun won't start rusting or getting surface rust.
I can feel the rubber in the liner here just to make sure it's got that in it.
Exactly right. So it's got a rubber gasket that runs all the way around. Okay. So you've also got, so that's fundamentally the inserts. That's the key unique selling feature. Other selling features for this case are, unlike other legacy cases, guess what? You only need to use one hand. Okay.
That is a factor, because sometimes these cases, you're all fingers and thumbs because you do they slide this way,
absolutely,
that way,
and also if you've got main pressure points in the case, the end won't shut properly unless you do that one first, and you perpetually, exactly. You've got 2 main grab handles, you've got bearing wheels on the side. Don't ask me what the weight is, but you're looking at around a couple of kilos.
With a gun in, it's going to be whatever the gun weighs.
Exactly
anyway,
right.
so.
Exactly right.
No,
okay. You've got padlock holes here, so you can drop in your TSA padlocks if you're travelling internationally, and they also come with these cinch straps. They Velcro through and keep everything nice and flush. Okay. You've also got indentations here for your main leverage straps as well. Okay. Again, if I just open it. I think that's pretty much it. No, one other thing, probably another most important thing. For your legacy gun owners who have already got cases already, doesn't matter who it is, the chances are we're now doing what I call our grid upgrade system as an upgrade, a retro upgrade for those legacy cases. So you bin the foam that the gun sits in and you replace it with the kit.
With the grid, yeah.
Okay, and it literally just clips together, drops in, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, you've got like a modular system there.
Okay. Retail price for the R44 is sitting around just under £500 currently, okay? The C35, you're probably realistically looking at around 450. And I believe in the future there's going to be another length, and I'm not sure if it's 65 inches or 72 inches. I'm going to say 65 inches at this stage. And again, that'll be out later in the year. Okay? No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Ben, I'm here with you at Edgar Brothers. You've got the new Zero Compromise Optics rifle scopes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about them, please?
Yes, so there's 4 key lines with Zedco. So we've got the 8-40, so for the shooters that want that, big wide magnification range. We've got the 527, which is the 5 mag to 27, which is really popular within the PRS world and target shooting. We have a 4-20 as well, but also I think most exciting is the Hunter scope they've got. So it's quite recently been brought out. It's a 1-7 to 12 by 50. It comes in first focal plane, second focal plane. It comes in, the reticles that everybody would want. And really, really exciting, top quality scopes.
Now, as some of my viewers might know, Ben is actually a world-capable PRS shooter, aren't you? So maybe something like that might be moving into your territory. I mean, this is the 8-40, so that's a 5 times the rectitude.
Yeah.
Would this be a bit more than you'd want for PRS? Would you maybe go for the 27 or?
It depends exactly on what style of PRS you're doing.
Yeah.
So the 8-40 is particularly popular for PRS 2.2.
Right.
Some people generally, in a centerfire PRS would be using the 5-27, but it depends what people's preferences are.
Yes. I've used one of these scopes a few years ago, and they're very, very rugged, and I know they put a lot of effort in towards the durability long term of the dialing turrets and the mechanical durability of them, don't
Yeah.
they? So can you tell me anything about that? Are they using any specific materials or?
Yeah, so the overall project with Zero Compromise Optic was to create the best scopes that money can buy.
With no compromise.
No compromise, yeah.
Including price.
Yeah, so they're not cheap, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
They are fully Austrian made, all in-house, except the glass which they bring in from Germany. Everything else is made completely in-house. They have control over everything. There is so much technology and engineering innovation in the assemblies of these. It is bonkers.
Those are the things you don't really see about a scope, do you? And it's very easy to say, well, it's got X amount of adjustment and it's got certain types of turret and illumination dials.
Yeah.
But it's when you start to compare and contrast them in tactile nature, things like fast focus eyepiece with a lock ring, and you've got lift to turn turrets, and those clicks really are super tactile and really well defined. So hopefully,
and optional as well, so you can get locking and non-locking variants.
Yeah. Right.
So you're not just stuck with one or the other. You can choose.
That's great to know. Right. Well, hopefully I'll be doing a full review on one of these at some point.
Maybe sometime soon.
I suspect I'd probably like to do that one because is that 3-27?
That's the 5-27. That's in the FDE.
Right.
So all of the scopes have the FDE variant as well.
Right.
Other than the Hunter, and yeah.
And does that pop up on the second rotation?
Yes.
Though?
So it's got a rotation
You've got
marker.
a tactile rotation indicator there too.
So really important for when you're going out to longer ranges, 1,000 and outwards, so you don't lose where you are
and
in your
obviously
rotation.
There's a zero stop as well, so you're not going to get lost on that.
All of them have illumination as well. They are 36mm tube, so they have massive amounts of elevation adjustment in there as well.
And just out of interest, they've all got very good close range parallax as well. That's marked down to 15 metres.
Yeah.
So that of course makes them suitable. You were saying that's particularly good with the rimfire guys.
Yeah, so you can get all the way down. Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some air rifle shooters who want to go for a scope of this quality.
Field target as well.
Yeah.
The field target guys, it's really popular with them. When you're range finding targets in traditional field target air rifle competitions, it's really important. So you can with the parallax adjustment on the side, you can really dial in and find exactly what distance the target's at. But obviously you've got the glass quality in there as well, and all the elevation adjustment.
I'm presuming there's quite a few reticle options as well, because that's a very personalised preference of reticles.
Very personal, but they're very sensible with Zero Compromise. So you've got pretty standard first focal plane crosshairs. If you want, you can go Christmas tree, and then like I said, the Hunter is a second focal plane option as well. You have a running bore option as a style of reticle, but you can also have the traditional floating dot in a crosshair. There's a bit of everything
That's
for anyone there.
Actually, as a hunting scope, because I've always associated ZCO with the precision scope. As a hunting scope, that has got a really nice image that snaps straight to view, actually.
Yeah.
Even in the poor light in this room, that's incredibly crisp. That's got a more sort of tactical than hunting reticle, that one.
That one is, yeah. So that's a pre-production model.
Right.
But they are out. They're landing in the UK as of literally today.
Excellent.
So yeah, the Hunter scope's very exciting. There's a huge amount again of engineering effort and work's gone into it, and I think people will love them.
I will be speaking to those that be, and I'll get one on review. Thank you very much, Ben.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you very much, Chris.
No worries.
Thank you.
Right, now I'm having a look at the foundation stocks. Now these are made of micarta, which is thermoplastic, whereas most people think a wooden stock might be a hunting rifle stock. These are actually more designed for precision rifle shooters. Very heavy, but Ben's going to explain a little bit more about why some people prefer a different material than a metal chassis, and how this stock has been developed and also specified to make it PRS, to make it a PRS stock, not just a kind of heavy sporter or varmint stock. So Ben, please tell me more about these.
Yeah, so Foundation, thank you for the introduction there, Chris. So Foundation, as you said, made out of micarta. So it was originally developed as an insulating material.
Right.
They found out that actually it makes a load of sense, because in a rifle stock, when you're using it for rifle stocks, it's a natural recoil absorber.
Yes.
So they have this unique dead feeling, people call it, when you're shooting it with a centerfire. They could be machined so they are action specific, so there's no bedding required whatsoever. They are milled and ground out to the highest degrees of tolerances. They're absolutely brilliant bits of kit. You have 5 key models. You've got your PRS ones like this. So this is the Genesis 2. So that's got the wide forend and the slightly slanted grip.
And the Arca rail as well, of course.
Yeah, so all of them have an Anschutz style under rail.
Right.
So you can put your Arca rail straight onto it, a short piece, or, for example...
We can't see that, but it's inlaid within the stock itself, isn't it? Yeah, so the Anschutz rail, you can probably see the Anschutz rail there, and that's what the Arca rail's attached to. Can you see that? Pop that back down.
You've got the Centurion, which has got the vertical grip.
Yeah.
And it's got the wide forend as well.
Right.
You have the Dominion, which is the hunting focus one, so it's cut out and lightweight, but it still has the features of no bedding required, the recoil absorbing features of any Foundation stock. And
I mean, it's quite interesting that we say that this material is really good for rifle stocks, and of course everything in life's a compromise. The downside is the material's very dense, isn't it?
It's very dense,
makes it a very heavy stock. But for PRS shooters, who are usually adding balance weights and all kinds of things like that anyway, they want heavy stocks. So it's kind of an interesting option from the kind of chassis that you see everywhere. I mean, we were saying earlier that you see every gun now under the sun in an XYZ chassis, and they all look very much of a muchness, whereas this gives a little bit more of a, I suppose you can't really call it a classic look, but it kind of looks like timber, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's not.
I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's like a high-grade walnut, the finish on it.
With that one.
So that's a dark distressed finish, and that's a natural finish. Some people prefer the natural, some people prefer the dark distressed.
It's interesting, when you tap it like that, it is just dead, isn't it?
Solid. It's absolutely dead, yeah.
And of course we've got this adjustment, and we've got recoil length, the pull adjustment, cheek piece adjustment, and options within it. Those look very interesting.
Here's an example as well of a fully built one.
Right.
So here's a Rimex. This is just a 2-2 rimfire.
Yes.
But built in the sort of barrel contour you'd expect for a competition rifle.
Yeah.
So this was built by Brock and Norris.
That's like a straight, what's that, a 30mm profile?
So that's a Phoenix PRS profile.
Right.
So it's pretty thick, although people do go thicker as well.
Yeah.
And that's a Zermatt Rimex Action with the Bix and Andy trigger in it as well.
That's a premium custom rifle then.
Yeah, that's
everything you could aspire to, really, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
It does maintain that sort of classic look to it, but I'll tell you what, there's some weight in that. Anyway, thank you very much, Ben.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Thane Simmons from Sabre Tactical. I want to go over this with you really quick. This is the first time any of you guys are seeing this chassis. We brought it here to the British Shooting Show to debut it, but the GRS stock is amazing. It's beautiful, it's wood, but there's a few things that we're missing, and to be able to shoot this from the bench or shoot PRS. So we built this chassis with a integrated Arca Swiss rail here at the bottom. We got integrated Picatinny, we've got M-LOK, we've got AR-15 style buttstock. So you can pull this out, put any AR style 15 buttstock you want in it. AR-15 style grip as well. We got a bubble level. Basically, we've just made it so modular that anybody from a bench or a PRS, if you want to shoot slugs out of this, can shoot this gun, have it full left hand or right hand as well. So that's kind of what we designed for this. Everything's fully adjustable. You got up, down, length of pull, and then you got this adjustment as well.
That's a really nice looking stock. That's going to be very popular. I think, for people who want to shoot PRS.
And price point, we're shooting for around probably $600 to $700 right in the price point. This is what we're shooting for.
What do you think that might translate to when it goes over to the UK? £600 to £700 maybe, or maybe a little bit more?
It's going to be somewhere in there.
Somewhere in that range.
Plus or minus 10, 15%, right?
But I tell you what, though, the King's a really nice rifle. I've just did a review on the King.
Yep.
It's a big step up, in my opinion, from FX. So it's quite nice to see it with the option of a chassis available for it. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Well, and one of my favorite rifles before this was a Crown, right?
Well, I like the Crown as well, but it's just so much stiffer, the barrel.
It's a powerhouse compared to the Crown. Yeah, like I said, like you said, FX has stepped up their game with this gun.
It's the first one I've really, really liked. And I think it's not just about efficiency of air with the Plenum.
Sure.
I think it's about, it adds a lot of stiffness as well.
Yeah, it is very stiff barrel.
Excellent. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is the new ATA ALR FS precision rifle. As you can see, it's a chassis rifle, it's a 3-lug bolt, 60-degree lift. This will be available in various calibers. It's magazine fed, but the FS element stands for the folding stock. So as well as adjustable recoil pad for length of pull, we've also got adjustable cheek piece height. We can move the recoil pad up, down, we can twist it however we want, and there's another locking knob on this side which allows you to change the length of pull to suit you. But here's the cool bit, there's no locking catch. You actually just pull it open and you can fold it out to either side. So that's folded to the left, or you can fold it out to the right. And of course, when you want to put it back in position, just pull it straight back round, pull it out, straight back round like that, and it locks in position. And these actually sort of self-tension, they're like a wedge shape. So there is absolutely no movement whatsoever in that mechanism. And of course, you're getting a great precision rifle at not an enormous cost, I suspect. I don't know the prices yet, because these literally landed yesterday before the shooting show. But here we are. I'll be getting one as soon as possible to do a full review, probably in a 6.5 Creedmoor, probably, and let's see how we get on with it. This is the new ATA Turka rifle, and it's the synthetic green one. We've got adjustable cheek piece there, length of pull spacers. It's a 3-lug bolt, so you get a 60-degree lift, and you've also got a 3-position safety catch, forward for fire, back there for in the bolt, and then all the way back locks the bolt. So that's got a Picatinny rail on top, nice free-floating barrel, and the fore end's quite stiff. I've got to squeeze that really hard to make it contact, and then the front end is screw cut for a moderator or brake. So I think that's going to make a good option for a sporting rifle. And the price on them isn't actually too bad at all. Looking at about £650, and there's a lot going on there for a rifle that shoots pretty well. So I'm going to get one of these for a full review, because you can have it in either the green or the black colour, and there's also a nice laminate there as well. Maybe the red-orange one's a little bit excessive for some people, and then here we can see at the bottom we've got the nice walnut finish all the way from Turkey. This is the new ATA ASR rifle. This is obviously a precision long-range rifle. It's available in 3 calibers. It's a switch barrel gun. You can have it in 308, 300 Win Mag, or 338 Lapua Magnum. Bolt action, forward for close, obviously like that. We've got tons of M-LOK on the front. We've got Picatinny on top. It's an inclined rail, loads of space for scope mounting, and of course it's a folding stock. And the bolt comes back into the housing here. Adjustable cheek piece on the top, so we can get really nice head position on it, and you've also got adjustable length of pull, and you can move the recoil pad
if we just unlock this, which I suspect someone's done up really tight. The thing I really like about this gun though is this. I think this is actually quite innovative because this roller here controls the rear monopod. So when your hand, it's so much easier to use in this position here than the foot of a monopod kind of down here with your fingertips. And I just think that as part of a butt hook assembly locked in there, you've got really good fine control there of elevation from shot to shot to shot. And I think that's a really good innovation that I'm very pleased to see from ATA. This stock folds, it's got all the usual functions and features in terms of the large caliber, and it comes with a muzzle brake too. This one's going to be a great entry-level rifle for some serious long-range centre-fire shooting. A lot of people will have had their first opportunity to see the new Sauer 505, and it's here in multiple stock formats. Here you can see the Synchro XT, which I've reviewed, and then on the other side you can see another Synchro XT and also the wooden version, which is the Ergo Lux. Another Synchro XT there, and we'll just move out of the way because over here we have the XTC, which is the one that everybody's going to really love because it's the carbon fibre. They are super light, super sound absorbent, and awesome to shoot. There's a full review on that that's coming soon. We're on the Blaser Mauser Sauer stand here, and we've got a few new Mausers. Now this is the M18 Pure. The M18, you know, it's a standard rifle. I've done the review on that, and again, it's a case of a different furniture effectively. And this has got a laminate stock on it, but it actually feels quite light for a laminate stock. You get those superb Mauser ergonomics. The M18's got a super slick bolt travel. I think it's an awesome rifle for the money. This one's coming in at £1,311 in that very attractive laminate stock. And those are tough, durable, and if you scratch them, it's not like a piece of grade 5 walnut where you're going to cry all the way to supper. And the other thing is, you've got a really stiff fore-end sling studs on it, so you can put your bipod on there too if you want. Screw cut for a moderator. It's got a 3-lug bolt, 60-degree lift, and it's got the superb Mauser twin column magazine, which is shared with some of the Sauer rifles as well. You clip your rounds in the top, whether it's in or out of the rifle, and they feed smooth, fast, great ejection, and you don't have any worries about damaging your brass if you're a reloader. While we're looking at the M18s, here there is also the thumb hole version. Again, all the same as I've just said, but you've got the thumb hole, which is ergonomic and ambidextrous if you want it to be, if that's your kind of preference. Personally, I like the standard stock, but the thumb hole will suit some people more than others, and of course if you like a bit more rear weight bias, that gives you that as well. Just to pick it up, the one you've already seen, which I've done the review on before, well, I've done the black one, but I've also done the silver stainless one. This is the one I did most recently, 4 videos on my channel of that review. Minox have got a whole new range of scopes called the RS4 range. Now this is the 3 to 12 by 56, which is an ideal optic for woodland stalkers, hill stalkers, gives you great low light performance, and of course it's got the usual Minox excellent image quality at very good prices. I've always quite liked Minox for that reason. You've got capped dials for adjusting elevation and windage. You've got nice, really good, nice firm clicks on there, so you're not going to overrun if you're doing any adjustments. And on the left side, you've got parallax adjustability and also illumination control, because there is a beautiful, fine, sort of German 4 crosshair, but with a small red dot in the centre on this optic. It's the kind of thing that's just a go-to sporting rifle scope. The other ones in the range, the RS4 obviously stands because it's a 4 times erector tube. We've also got a 2.5 to 10 by 50, which is going to be just about low enough that if you've got a bit of driven game or anything like that, 2.5 times, you might be okay with that. Even smaller, we move down here. This is the RS4 2.5 10 by 42, so a smaller front end on it, same magnification range though. And then lastly, this is the last one that's truly for driven bore, and that's a 1 to 4 scope. So that's going to be superb on fast moving game, and of course same illumination system, same reticles, but you've got a massive field of view, and you can shoot, with both eyes open for that intuitive pointability on a rifle, and that's the joy of a 1 times optic.